the end there. What kind of did you hear in that scuffle, and what did you see? Obviously, the big exception to Giannis Duncan.
Yeah, I mean, I at least from my vantage point, when I first started, I think Vooch was going over there to speak with him, and then it kind of escalated. I don't think that was Vooch's intention at all. Now, I could be totally mistaken. Vooch is probably better off to talk to about it than I am, but that's the way it looked. I think he was going over to him to say, whatever the dunk was at the end of the game, and then obviously, I don't know if somebody on their team ran over or whatever, but I think Vooch was almost like, I'm trying to talk to him. I think Vooch was trying to have a professional conversation. That's what I saw, but then obviously it escalated.
What's your take on guys dunking at the end of at the end of a game like that?
Well, I mean, my feeling is, I try never to focus on another team. They got to be responsible for how they want to do it. I would say etiquette across the league is generally when the game's kind of out of reach and the team's, not going to take a shot. Everybody just kind of holds the ball and the clock runs out. That's what normally takes place, but they have to talk for themselves. I understand where Vooch is coming from, because I think that if Vooch was in the same situation, Vooch would have not shot it. But for me to sit there and worry about them, I have enough to worry about with our group.
Did you think it looked like Giannis kind of took offense to Kobe half trying to foul him on that end of the court and kind of pulled away and looked pissed and then just kind of went down the court and dunked it? Did you see that, or you didn't see that?
Yeah, I think, he was maybe looking for a foul. I don't know. I think Kobe went for the ball, and then once he realized that he wasn't going to get it, I don't think Kobe was trying to foul. I think at that point in time, and again, it's probably better off to speak to them about it, because I would just be speculating standing on the sideline.
You got into a one-possession game after that you had the 5-second violation by them coming out of the timeout, and you looked like you had a nice play set up, but Trey kind of lost a little bit on the dribble.
He did.
I was hoping the timing a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he had it turned. I thought he bobbled the ball a little bit. We were trying to go for a quick 2, because we would have had a 2-for-1 at that point in time. I thought if we could get a quick 2 and maybe a stop with one more timeout, maybe it's a 2-point game if we do get a stop. So I didn't want to. I think it would be a good learning a point for Kobe too. Because in that situation when it's still a 2-possession game regardless if you make a 3 or not, right? So we got to try to get something. So I was trying to get something to the rim very quickly to make sure that maybe we could trap, and if we did have, a foul, we'd still have time to utilize our timeout.
How do you think you guys guarded Giannis overall?
I didn't like it in the first half just because, it was at the rim, and I thought it was like, a parting of the Red Sea. We've got to be able to stick our nose in there and be a lot more physical than that. And I think there was 4 straight possessions he dunked. I mean, outside the 3, I think he made out of the corner. And we've got to be better. I thought in the second half we had a little bit more physicality at the basket, made it a little bit more difficult for him. But I didn't think we did a great job in the first half.
How do you feel like Kobe's been playing recently? Obviously, makes and misses aside, it feels like he's had some sort of uncharacteristic turnovers. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, I mean, we got to be better taking care of the ball, especially with the backcourt, right? It's been a couple games now it's happened. Listen, I think this for Kobe, the one thing with Kobe is, I mean, he's a great worker. He never, ever, I would say, never looks outward. He always looks, inward. But I would say this, the fact that he's been able to put together consecutive games, he's just got to get his body in much better shape for this, quite honestly. And he's working like crazy to do it. But I think the only thing that's going to really, really help him get that is he's going to have to go through it, and like I told him, this is almost like his training camp. A lot of times guys come out of training camp sore and tired, and they build up a tolerance for what the season's going to be like. He hasn't had that, and unfortunately, his body's going to go through some things, and he's fine. I mean, there's no calf problem. I don't mean it that way. I think just his body in general, when you can't bang and have that on a regular basis, but he'll get through that, and I think he'll get his pop back that he normally has. And I think, he's fighting through it, and we're trying to, as best we can, manage the minutes, as the medical guys want us to. And then from there, it's just going to be a matter of time till he gets it back, and it will come back for him.
What have you heard about that?
I didn't get a chance to see. The only thing I knew was that he was back there, and I talked to the team and then came in here. But I'll go back and check, but I'm not really sure what it was.